Hello everyone, welcome everyone to today's trading. So we are looking at 30 minutes time frame, which we have a resistance and a support zone over here, and this recent candle is left with 30 minutes before this candle will close. So before we analyze our support zone and our resistance zone, let's look at the higher time frame. So let's go to the month. Looking at the condition of the month's market structure, let's see what we are anticipating the market to give to us. So the month's market structure, this candle is left with 15 hours before this candle will close. We don't need this line. Let's delete this line. So this line is the high of this recent bullish candle, and this line is the low of this recent bullish candle. This is the all-time high on gold. So we are in an uptrend. So that means since this recent month chart is left with 15 hours before this candle will close, so that means there's a high probability that this candle can continue to go up to get to this high, for it to break this high and fill this week over here. So but the best thing is just for us to wait, since we are anticipating this candle for it to continue to go up. So let's look at the daily market structure. The daily market structure, the candlestick pattern and the market structure is just consolidating. We have a support zone over here and a resistance zone, and this candle closed with a rejection bearish candle. So as you can see, the rest of the candle, they are just forming a consolidation zone because of how this candle, they are printing side by side. So but this recent daily candle is left with 15 hours before this candle will close. So since this recent candle is left with 15 hours, so that means, and this recent candle, let me move this stuff so that to be able to have a clear view. So this candle over here, it didn't create a lower wick, then it's just open, and then the body of this candle decided to break the high of this bearish candle and this bullish candle. So that means there's volume in the market, and then we are anticipating this candle for it to continue to go up to fill this rejection bearish candle over here, since there is volume in the market. And then in the next 11 minutes from now, it's London open. So at the moment, it's pre-London section that we are trading. Since the daily market structure is just consolidating, we can't really do anything at this moment until the break of this high over here. Then we can anticipate to take a position for the next candle to keep going up to this all-time high on gold. But for now, we don't need to do anything. This is just for people that are trading like daily, or you're a swing trader. So the daily market structure, there is nothing serious that is happening at this moment. Let's go to the 4 hours. So the 4-hour time frame, I can identify a consolidation zone. Let's delete this line. So this market structure was just printing side by side, which this is a consolidation zone that we have a resistance zone over here, and then we have a support zone over here. So we also have a consolidation zone over here. But it's very important for us to look at the current resistance and the current support. So since this candle broke this resistance zone, that means this consolidation zone is no longer valid until we see a candle for it to continue to come down to get to this zone over here. So since this candle broke this resistance zone, so the best thing is just for us to identify the recent consolidation zone. So and the recent consolidation zone we are looking at from this support zone over here, down to this resistance zone over here. This candle broke this resistance zone and it closed with a strong bullish candle. This candle, it created no wick at the bottom. That means there was volume in the market. That the next candle closed with a bearish candle. So this recent 4-hour candle is left with 3 hours before this candle will close. And this candle is here to break the high of this bearish candle and it's here to break the low of this bearish candle. So the best thing is just for us to wait until the break of the high. Then the moment we are able to identify a structure, or the moment you are able to identify a confirmation trade before we can decide to open a position. But from this resistance zone down to this support zone, it's been considered as a consolidation zone. So right now, since this candle has broken this resistance zone and the next candle closed with a bearish candle, and this recent candle is here to break the high and it's here to break the low. So the best thing for us to do is just for us to wait. We don't need to do anything. For those of you that are joining today, if today is your first day of joining the live stream and everything, so I love to identify my support zone and my resistance zone using the 30 minutes time frame or the 1 hour time frame. So we have a support zone over here and we have a resistance zone over here. It's just for us to have an idea what the month chart is saying, the daily, the 4 hours, and the 1 hour and 30 minutes candle formation. They are all saying it's very important for us to have an idea so that we'll be able to know if it's the right time for us to take a position, since we know how the month market structure is: the daily, the 4 hours, the 1 hour and 30 minutes. So the 4 hours, the market structure is not really doing anything. It's just for us to wait, then for us to anticipate if we are supposed to take a position and if we are supposed to chip. But right now, we don't have any confirmation trade yet. So the best thing is just for us to be patient until we identify a structure before we can decide to take a position. So let's go to the 1 hour time frame. So the 1 hour time frame, as you can see, this consolidation zone, they are still valid. So all we need to do is just to adjust this over here and adjust it over here. So we also have a support zone over here. There's a support zone over here. There's a support zone over here. So the market condition is just consolidating. So the best thing is just for us to wait. We can't really do anything at this moment since this candle has broken this resistance zone. And right now, looking at the formation of the rest of the candle, they are just printing side by side. So looking at the formation of the candle, they are just printing side by side. And this 1 hour candle is left with 4 minutes before this candle will close. But this candle has broken the high of this bearish candle and this bullish candle. It didn't break the high of this bearish candle. It didn't break the high. So the best thing is just for us to wait for this candle to close. Then the moment this candle should close, then we need to look at the 30 minutes time frame. Then if we are able to identify a structure, then we can decide to open a position. I'm going to tell you guys if it is the right time for us to open a position or if it's the right time for us to be patient. Let's measure from this resistance zone down to this support zone how many pips we are looking at. So we are looking at like 600 pips, and 600 pips is huge. So let's wait for this candle to close. I understand that we have a minor support, 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 and a support zone. But today is Friday, so it's very important for us to know what you're anticipating the market to give to us. We also have a minor support, a minor support, and a support zone, and a support zone, and a support zone. So let's wait and see. So let's go to the 30 minutes time frame so that we'll be able to have a clear view. We will know when open a position and when not to open a position. And with the 1 hour and 30 minutes, I love to identify my support zone and my resistance zone using the 1 hour or the 30 minutes. So let's go to the 30 minutes. So with the 30 minutes, we need to do some adjustments since we have a clear view of the 30 minutes right now. So since we have a consolidation zone over here, I understand that with the H1 and the H4, I was able to identify this zone as a consolidation zone. But the 30 minutes, we are seeing how the market structure is, and this consolidation zone over here, we need to identify this zone as a consolidation zone because of this candle broke this resistance zone, and the next candle broke the high of this bullish candle. The next candle broke the high of this bullish candle. After the break of this high, the rest of the candle, you are just printing side by side. That this candle also came back down to close with a bearish candle and a bullish candle to form a recent support. Then this candle over here closed with a bullish candle and a bearish candle to form a resistance zone over here. So that means from this resistance zone down to this support zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. So that means we need to remove this. Then we need to put our recent resistance here, by which we'll put our support zone here. Then we'll put our support zone here. We'll have a support zone over here. Let's adjust this a little bit. So we have a support zone over here. So that means we are anticipating the break of this our resistance zone and the break of this our support zone. Then for the candle to keep coming down or for the candle to keep going up. But I'm going to tell us when it is the right time for us to take a position. The moment we are able to identify the break of our resistance and the break of our support with the other factors, then I'm going to tell us that okay, it is the right time for us to take a position. But meanwhile, this candle just closed with a rejection bullish candle. So let's see how this recent 30 minutes candle will print. Let's look at the 1 hour. I love to look at the different time frame just for me to have an idea what I'm anticipating the market to give to me. So the 1 hour candle closed with a bullish candle like this. So let's see what this recent 1 hour candle want to do, and then this recent 30 minutes candle want to do as well. So since we have a support zone and a support zone, let's measure from this support zone down to this support zone. We are looking at 270 pips here about, and then we need to identify the recent resistance. We need to look at our left hand side so that we'll be able to identify a recent resistance. We have a resistance zone over here. We have a resistance zone over here. And the next resistance zone is here. But let's concentrate from this resistance zone to this resistance zone because of the range. Since from this resistance zone to this support zone is being considered as a consolidation zone, and this resistance zone is within this consolidation zone, so we need to delete it because we have a recent resistance zone over here. So that means we are anticipating the break of this resistance zone for the candle to keep going up to this resistance zone. So let's measure from this resistance zone down to this resistance zone, which we are looking at 191 pips. So because of the range, so it's very important for you to know how much you want from the market, how much you are risking in a trade, because you kind of having an idea how much you want and how much you are risking, you'll be able to know that if it is the right time for you to take a position, then with the high probability setup, you kind of seeing a good setup, then you can decide to open a position. But it's very important for you to know how much you want from the market and how much you are risking, because it's all part of your trading plan, because you know how much you deposited in, so you kind of knowing the percentage of the capital that you deposited and the risk that you're willingly to take when you open a position. So these are all part of your trading plan. So we have a resistance zone over here and we have a resistance zone over here, which we are looking at 191 pips from this resistance zone to this resistance zone. We also have a support zone and a support zone, which we are looking at 280 something or 290 something pips. So with this range that we have, and today is Friday, so you need to ask yourself that according to your trading plan, how much are you willingly to take, or how much do you want to take from the market, and how many pips do you want to take from the market, and how much you want to risk in a trade. So right now we don't need to do anything, we just need to chill until we are able to identify a structure before we can decide to take a position. Let me bring this back here so that if any new person should join, they'll be able to understand what we are anticipating the market to give to us. Let me raise this cell. So this recent candle is yet to break the low of this rejection bullish candle over here. It's very good for you to know what the market structure is saying. It's very good for you to know how the market structure is printing, because you kind of having an idea what you're anticipating the market to give to you. It helps just for you to know that if it is the right time for you to take a position, or if it is the right time for you to be patient. So this candle, it created a lower wick, but it's yet to break the low of this rejection bullish candle over here. Let's see how this candle wants to print. If this candle will continue to go up to fill this, we can break our resistance zone, or if the candle will continue to come down to break our support zone and then for it to fill this week. So let's wait. But the moment you are able to identify a confirmation trade, or the moment we are able to identify what we are anticipating the market to give to us, so I'm going to tell us it is the right time for us to take a position. But if I see that the formation of the candle is not something that we need to take a position, we don't need to take a position, and it's okay for you to come to the market when you see something that do not tally with your trading plan. You don't need to break your trading plan because you just want to open a position. You might win that trade and you might also lose that trade, but I can tell you with experience, the moment you lose that trade, you start telling yourself that why didn't you follow your trading plan? But the moment you follow your trading plan and you take that trade and you lose that trade, you will not tell yourself anything. Rather, the market choose not to give you that trade. So it's very important for you to know what you want from the market, how you want it, before you can decide to take a position. So let's see how this candle will play out. Let me look at the 15-minute candle just to have an idea. So this candle closed with a rejection bearish candle like this one. Like this recent 15-minute candle has broken the low. So let's see. Let's see what the markets want to do before we can decide to anticipate, and then I'm going to tell us if it's the right time for us to take a position. If you guys should have a question, you can send your message in the chat box and I'll get back to you guys. But this candle has broken the low, and then the candle is left with 21 minutes before this candle will close. We have a rejection bearish candle over here. So let's just be patient. We don't need to do anything. Let's enjoy the music. And if you guys have a question, you can send your message or you can send your question and I will get back to you guys. Let's be patient. Nothing is happening. This candle came down. So we don't know if this candle wants to create a rejection wick over here for it to close with a bearish candle, or for it to break the high, then for it to continue to go up to fill this wick, by which the low of this candle has broken the low of this rejection bullish candle over here. So the best thing is just for us to wait. We don't need to do anything. Let's be patient. just in case any of you have a question or you are just joining right now and you don't understand what is happening in the screen, you can ask your question. I'm going to explain to you guys. But I believe we all have been trading, and then most of you know how I do trade. So that means you guys understood the concept of which our buy anticipation is here, our consolidation zone is here, and our sell anticipation is here. Because from this resistance zone down to this support zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. So that means you're anticipating a candle to break our resistance zone, then for it to continue to go up, which we are going to anticipate for us to see a confirmation setup. Then before I can tell you guys that it is the right time for us to take a position. So the same thing also happens here too in terms of the support zone. So we are also anticipating a bearish candle to break our support zone, then for the next candle or for that candle to continue to come down to fill this week. But whichever one, we need to understand what the market is saying. Then we already know our trading plan. We know what we want from the market. We are not chasing the market. So it's very important for you to have a trading plan, know what you want. And the moment you yourself, you didn't see a confirmation that tally with your trading plan, you don't need to open a position, because you kind of just chasing the market, following the market and everything. To me, you are just kind of gambling. It's like you're trading without you don't have a plan, so you don't know what you're doing. But the moment you're able to have a plan, that means you pass through a process. You know what you want, you know how you want it, and with your knowledge, you'll be able to execute that trade the moment the trade should get to the exact thing that your trading plan says. So for now, let's just be patient. This, like the recent 30 minutes candle, is left with 15 minutes. And as you can see, there is volume in the market. This is London open. So we have volume in the market. So let's see how this candle will close, since this candle is left with 15 minutes. So all you guys need to do is just for you to get your MT5 or your C trade or your C trader, or like any platform that you use to open a position. So just get it ready, because mine is ready. So the moment I identify a setup, I'm going to tell us that it is the right time for us to take a position, and I'll also tell us we have to put our stop loss. The most important thing is for us to be able to manage our risk, even though we have a trading plan, and the trading plan says that we need to risk this percentage and this percentage. But the most important thing is just for us to know how to manage our risk. The 15 minutes candle have closed. The bearish candle, it broke the low of this rejection bearish candle. Look at the 5 minutes. I love to look at the different time frame just for me to have an idea. Just to have an idea what the candle is saying. Just look at then. It's free. It's nothing. You kind of understanding what the market is saying. Like, it's free, so you can just pay attention to it. Let me zoom the chart like this. Let me keep it like this. It's calm. It's cool like this. Let's see. Let's see what the markets want to do. Mm-hmm. This recent candle is left with 11 minutes for this candle to close. Let's see how the 15 minutes is. Okay. This 15 minutes, this candle closed with a rejection bearish candle and it broke the low and closed with a bearish candle. This recent 15 minutes candle is here to break the low and it's here to break the high. So let's see. Let's see what the candle want to do. Let's see. So let's enjoy the music. Let's enjoy the music and let's be patient. Let's see what the candle want to do. So since there is volume in the market and this is London section, we are anticipating a break of our support zone and we are anticipating the break of our resistance zone. We are anticipating the break of our resistance zone and we are anticipating the break of our support zone since there is volume in the market. So let's see what the candle want to do. Right now, we just need to be patient. We don't need to do anything until we are able to identify a structure, until we are able to identify a setup before we can decide to take a position. I'm just looking at my other screen. Love to have an idea what the market is saying. This recent 30-minute candle is left with 6 minutes before this candle will close. So let's just be patient. Since there is volume in the market, we are anticipating the break of our support zone and the break of our resistance zone. Then with our order confirmation, the moment you are able to identify a confirmation, going to tell us that this is the right time for us to take a position. So let's just be patient. You don't need to do anything. Let's just be patient until this candle needs to close, since this candle is left with 6 minutes for it to close. If this recent bearish candle, if the candle should continue to come down to break our support zone, I'm not going to advise us for us to take a position. The candle is left with 5 minutes before the candle will close. So we will need to wait, even though the candle should break our support zone and the candle should continue to come down to fill this week over here. We don't need to do anything. And even though the candle should still continue coming down, we don't need to do anything, because this thing is not part of our trading plan. This is not part of what we are anticipating the market to give to us. Rather, the moment we decided to open a position, that means we are chasing the market. That means we are following the market. The market is going up, we follow the market to go up. The market is coming down, we follow the market to come down. Like, they don't trade like that. Because since you are trading, that means you know what you're anticipating the market to give to you. So you're not just coming to the market just for you to come to the market. That if the market is going up, you are following the market to go up. If the market is coming down, you're following the market to come down. Don't do that. So this candle is left with 4 minutes before this candle will close. Like I said, if this candle should continue to come down to break our support zone, for it to continue to come down to fill this week, we're not going to do anything. But the moment this candle should break this our support zone and close with a bullish candle like this, then this zone is no longer valid. So that means we need to wait for the next candle to give us a bullish candle like this. To give us a bullish candle like this, let me change the color to green. So that means we need to wait. If this candle should continue to come down, since there is volume in the market, and this candle is left with 3 minutes. If this candle should continue to come down to break our support zone, and for the candle to also fill this week over here and close like this, so that means we don't need to do anything. And then this our support zone is no longer valid, because this candle has broken the support zone. So all we need to do is just for us to wait for the next candle to close the bullish candle, so that we'll be able to identify a recent support. Then we'll know the next thing that we need to do, if it is the right time for us to take a position or if it's the right time for us to chill. So let's just be patient. We don't need to do anything at the moment, because the candle is left with 2 minutes before this bearish candle will close. So let's be patient. Mm, mm. This recent bearish candle is left with a minute before the candle will close. Let's be patient. The candle will close right now, and then let's anticipate to see what the next candle wants to do. If the next candle will have to break our support zone, or if the next candle will have to break our resistance zone before we can decide to take a position. So the candle is about to close. Let's see how the candle will close. So the candle just closed with a bearish candle. So this is the beginning of this new 30-minute candle. Let's look at the 1 hour. Let's adjust this. Okay, so this is how the 1 hour candle is printing. So let's see. So we are still in this consolidation zone. Can't really do anything at this moment. So we are anticipating the break of this bearish candle. Then for the candle to break our support zone, for it to continue to come down to fill this week, which I'm going to tell us if it is the right time for us to take a position. But right now we are in this consolidation zone. We can't really do anything at this moment. We are also anticipating the candle to break our resistance zone. Then we'll be able to identify if it is the right time for us to take a position with the other factors that we also need to consider before opening a position. It's not all about the break of resistance and the break of support. You need to know what you want and how you want it before you can decide to take a position. So this recent 30 minutes candle is here to break the low of this bearish candle, and it's here to break the high of this bearish candle. So let's see what the market wants to do. So this candle is about to break the low of this bearish candle over here. So let's see what the candle wants to do. Let's zoom the chart a little bit. So let's see what the candle wants to do. That means we are anticipating the break of these are support zone and the break of these are resistance zone with our other confirmation, which I'm going to tell us if it is the right time for us to take a position. But this candle has broken the low of this bearish candle over here. So let's see what the candle wants to do. Let's see what the candle wants to do. If this candle should, let me see the low, the high of this candle down to this place. We are looking at 54 pips. The moment this candle should break this our support zone, then from this our support zone to the high of this candle, we are looking at 54 pips. So it's very important for you to know how much you are risking in a trade and how much you want from the market before you can decide to take a position. So since the high of this recent candle to this support zone over here, we are looking at 54 pips. So you need to know how much you want, how much you are risking, so that you know where you put your stop loss. But I'm going to tell us how we trade this trade. So that means this trade want to continue to come down to break our support zone. Let's look at the 15-minute candle so that we'll be able to know what the 15-minute candle is saying. I love to look at the different time frame just to have an idea of what I'm anticipating the market to give to me. And the 15-minute candle is left with 8 minutes. You're looking at 50 something pips. So let's see. 30 pips. $33 pips. Then we are looking at 70 pips. So 70 pips. So let's see. The 15-minute candle is left with 8 minutes for this candle will close, and the 30-minute candle is left with 23 minutes, and the 5-minute candle, this is what the 5-minute candle is saying. Then the 1-hour candle, the 1-hour candle wants to continue to come down. It has broken the low of this rejection bullish candle over here. It has broken the low of this rejection bullish candle, and we have a rejection bearish candle over here. So this is the wick of the candle. So if there is volume, which we are anticipating that there is volume in the market, for the volume to keep coming down to fill this wick, then for the candle to continue to come down to our support zone. So it's very important for you to know what you want and how you want it before you can decide to take a position. Let's look at the 4-hour. The 4-hour, let's see this thing over here. Let's rectangle. Let's delete it. I'm going to put it back. So this 4-hour candle, it's created a wick at the bottom that this candle wants to continue to come down to fill this wick as well. But this wick didn't break this bearish candle wick. As you can see, let me zoom the chart a little bit for you guys. It didn't break this wick over here. It respected the high of this wick over here. So let's wait. We know what we want from the market. We know how we want it before we can decide to take a position. It's not yet time for us to take a position. Let's be patient. It's not yet time for us to take a position. But the candle is about to break our support zone, so let's be patient. Let's just have an idea what the market structure is saying. The market is coming down. Let me get to my MT. Fifty minutes candle is left with 4 minutes before this candle will close. So, and the 5 minutes candle this is the beginning of the 5 minutes candle. So has broken the low, the low, the low, the low. So let's be patient. This 5 minutes candle is about to break the low of this candle, and it's left with 4 minutes for this 5 minutes candle to close, and it's left with like 4 minutes for the 15 minutes candle to close. So the best thing is just for us to wait for this 5 minutes candle, for this recent 5 minutes candle to close. Let's wait for this 5 minutes candle to close. Let's wait for the 5 minutes candle to close. So let's see. Let's wait for the 5 minutes candle to close. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Let's wait for the 5 minutes candle to close. This 5 minutes candle. Let's wait for it to close. If the candle should come down to break our support zone, we're not going to do anything. If the candle should come down to get to, because this is my entering position. The moment the candle should get to this position, I'm going to open a position. I'm going to open a position right here. So I'm anticipating this candle for it to continue to come down, but I want this 5 minutes candle to close. This 5 minutes candle need to close first. The 5 minutes candle is left with 2 minutes before the candle will close. So let's be patient. Let's allow the 5 minutes candle to close. Let's wait for the 5 minutes candle to close. The candle is left with 2 minutes before the candle will close. Let's be patient. This is our entering position over here. The 4177.12. So let's wait for this 5 minutes candle to close. Then the moment, if this 5 minutes candle should close with a bearish candle, so the moment the next candle should break the low of that candle and break our support zone and get to our entering position. So I'm going to take a position, but my stop loss is at 30 pips, so I'm risking like 30 pips. So you guys should know how much you are risking. 30 pips equivalent to the amount of money that you deposited, so you know how much you are risking. Then together with your lot size. But this 30 minutes candle this 5 minutes candle needs to close first. I'm not going to do anything. This candle needs to close first. The 1 hour candle is continuing coming down. The 4 hour candle want to continue to come down to fill this wick over here. So this is the wick. The 4 hours candle wick is here. So let's see. That is following the market right now. So let's wait for the 5 minutes candle, this candle to close. This is our position here. Our entering position is here. So let's be patient. So the 5 minutes candle have closed. Okay, so since this 5 minutes candle have closed, so that means we are anticipating. Like I said, this 5 minutes candle, we got to our entering position, but I told you guys that we're not going to do anything because we need to wait for this 5 minutes candle to close. So now this recent 5 minutes candle, the moment this recent 5 minutes candle should continue to come down to break the low of this 5 minutes candle, I'm going to take a position. Then this is our stop loss. Our stop loss is here. That means we are anticipating the candle for it to continue to come down to our take profit. But this is my take profit. My target is 70 pips. I'm targeting 70 pips. So the moment this candle should get to my entering position, I'm going to open a position. Then for us to anticipate the candle to keep coming down. Since there is volume in the market, the candle can still continue to come down more to maybe like 100 pips and 200 pips thereabout. So let's wait. The moment the candle should get to this position over here, I'm going to take a position. So once the candle should get to this entering position, I'm going to take a position. Let's see. We are waiting for the candle to keep coming down, then we'll be able to identify a trade. So the candle wants to continue to come down. So I'm anticipating it for it to break the low, because our entering position is at the low of this. Okay, so I'm taking a sell position right now. So I've taken a sell position. Stop loss is at 418.06. So I've set my stop loss. Don't forget, I'm risking 30 pips. So this is my stop loss. So I'm risking 30 pips. So I'm in a position already. So since there is volume in the market, so I'm anticipating this candle for it to continue to come down. So there is volume in the market. So this candle has closed. This 50 minutes candle has closed. This 5 minutes candle has closed. So let's see what this next 5 minutes candle want to do. But this candle needs to respect the high of this bearish candle over here. This 5 minutes candle, I don't see any reason why this candle will need to break the high of this bearish candle over here, since there is volume in the market. So that means you're anticipating this candle for it to continue to come down, for it to break the high of the low of this bearish candle over here. So the question is, right now, our target is 30 pips, like our stop loss target is 30 pips. And there is how you also need to manage your risk so that you don't end up losing like 30 pips. But since there is volume in the market and we are anticipating the candle to continue to come down to fill this week and for it to continue to come down. So that means I don't see any reason why this candle will have to go back to break the high of this bearish candle over here. So I always tell you guys, know what you want and know how you want it before you can decide to take a position. So since there is volume in the market, I'm anticipating the candle for it to continue to still drop down and break the low of this bearish candle for it to continue to come down to our TP. So let's just be patient. So let's be patient and see. Know what you want from the market and know how you want it before you can decide to take a position. The 4 hours candle want to continue to come down, the 1 hour candle as well. So we are anticipating this candle for it to continue to come down. There is volume in the market, it should continue to come down. Like I said, know how much you want, know how you want it before you can decide to take a position. So there is volume in the market. There is volume. Know how much you want and know how you want it. I told you guys, have your TP set. Since there is volume in the market, the candle can still continue to drop to fill this week over here. Let's see the 5 minutes, what the 5 minutes saying. Know what you want and know how much you want. So we are in a profit. Since there is volume in the market, we are still anticipating the candle to keep coming down. The candle needs to keep coming down. But this trade, if the candle should come back to our entering position, I can never lose the same amount of money that I risk on this trade. Never. Rather, I'm going to manage my risk. But still, know what you want, know how you want it. So that means we are still anticipating this candle for it to continue to drop down until it fills this week and for it to continue to come down to our support zone over here. But my target, I'm targeting like 70 pips. But the candle will continue to break this the candle, it will get to my take profit and for it to continue to come down. But just know how much you want and how you want it. So the 30 minutes candle is left with 5 minutes before this candle will close. 5 minutes before this candle will close. Let's see, the 1 hour candle is left with 5 minutes before this candle will close. The 4 hours candle is still left with 2 hours. So let's see. what will happen in the next 5 minutes. In the next 5 minutes. So for me to manage my risk, I'm going to reduce my risk down to here from 30 pips to 22 pips, which the number is on the screen, 4179.21. So I'm going to modify my chart to 4179.27. Modify. So I've modified my stop loss, but the 15 minutes candle is, the 5 minutes candle is left with 4 minutes. The 15 minutes candle is left with 4 minutes. The 30 minutes candle is left with 4 minutes. The 1 hour candle is left with 4 minutes. Okay, I know what to do. So 2 minutes before this candle will close, I'm going to secure 50% of my trade. 2 minutes before this candle will close, if the candle didn't get to our take profit, I'm going to secure 50% of my trade, because if the market have given you something, you don't need to give back the market everything that the market has given to you. Don't do that. So the thing is, this candle can still continue to come down for the next one to continue to come down. But that one is not our business. Our business is what we want and how we want it. So we are anticipating this candle for you to continue to shoot down to our TP. So know what you want and know how you want it. So right now we are in a profit right now. And this 30 minutes, let's go to 30 minutes. This 30 minutes candle is how many pips there about? You're looking at 93 pips. So let's see. It's 2 minutes right now. So I'm going to secure like 50% of my trade. So I'm going to secure like 50% of my trade right now, because this 30 minutes candle is left with 2 minutes, which I told you guys that I'm going to secure like 50% of my trade. So if the next candle should go back to our entering position, I'm not going to lose this trade. Rather, I would definitely end this trade with a profit. But right now, if this can, let's see what the candle wants to do. So the candle is left with a minute. So let's see what the next one wants to do. If the next one wants to continue to come down, or if the next one wants to reject of this zone and for it to close back to this consolidation zone, it's very important for you to know what you want and how you want it before you can decide to take a position. So we are in a profit right now, and the 5 minutes candle is left with a minute. The 15 minutes candle is left with a minute. The 30 minutes candle is left with a minute. The 1 hour candle is left with a minute. The 4 hours candle is left with like 2 hours thereabout. So, but it's very important for us to know what we want. So that means we are still anticipating this candle for it to continue to come down to get to our TP. But if the market should give you something like a profit, and then you are seeing that the next candle might go back to your entry position, you don't need to give the market everything. No, you can close like 50% and allow 50% to run. But looking at how the formation of this candle formation, now I'm going to set my trade to break even. But before I do that, I need to see something. If I do that, let me see. You're looking at 41 pips. So I'm going to set my trade to break even. I don't care anything that the market wants to do. Today is Friday. So I'm going to set my trade to break even. Don't forget, I've closed 50% already. So I'm going to set my trade to break even. So if the next candle should continue to go up, if the next candle should continue to go up back to this zone over here, I know that I was able to secure a profit. But we are still anticipating this trade for it to continue to come down to get to our TP. So if this candle should continue to close with a bullish candle back to this consolidation zone over here, I'm not going to lose this trade. Already have closed my 50%, by which I'm anticipating this candle for it to continue to come down to this take, so I'll take profit. Let's see what this candle wants to do. Let's see what the candle wants to do. Right now, we don't have any stress because we have set our trade to break even, and then we are anticipating the candle for it to continue to come down to our take profit, by which we took 50% out already. Markets has given you some amount of money. Don't allow the market to take back that amount of money back. Take something. So it's all about compounding. Let's see what this recent 30-minute candle wants to do. Let's see. But this recent 30-minute candle, it can choose to go back to this consolidation zone. We don't know, but we are still anticipating. When you're trading, you don't need to hope. You don't need to guess. You need to know what you are doing. Then you need to follow your trading plan. So right now, we have set our trade to break even, and we have closed 50%. So we are still anticipating the trade for it to continue to come down. But if this trade should choose to go back to our entering position, today is Friday, we have secured a profit already. If then we are anticipating the trade for it to continue to come down to get to our take profit. So right now, you don't need to do anything. No stress. Don't do anything. Just allow the candle to hit your take profit, and then we'll call it a day. So right now, we are still anticipating the candle to drop to our take profit. Here, these are our take profits. So since there is volume in the market, so we are expecting this candle for it to continue to come down to get to our TP. Our TP hit. Wow, look at volume in the market. Everybody, we have secured our trade. Then let's call it a day. If the market should continue to come down, like I said, this is our support zone over here, and just take a good look at the pips. Just look at the pips, like look at the pips. 176 pips. So our trade just got hit right now, and then let's secure our trade. Don't open a position again. Don't go and lose your money. Don't open a position again. Call it a day. on Monday is a new day for us to try again. Today is Friday. Don't overtrade or over risk. So we are done for today. Secure your trade, secure your money, and enjoy your weekend, everyone. Don't do anything. The market has gotten to our take profit. You know how much you want. You know exactly how much you want. So let's call it a day. Let's call it a day. Let's call it a day. Secure your profit. Secure your profit, everyone. So right now we have nothing else to do since our trade have gotten to our take profit. And then thank you to everyone for joining. So I'm gonna meet you guys on Monday. So enjoy your weekend, and then happy trading to everyone. TP hits. See you guys on Monday. If this candle should continue to come down, we're not gonna do anything. We have secured our profit, and then see you guys on Monday, everyone. Bye for now.